that house consistent with some of the new homes that are being built in the Jamestown Shores area?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And is it excessively large when compared to those homes?
No.
What does stair option 3 refer to? Is that one of the alternates?
Oh, that was, it's from schematic design. We had obviously gone through a design process, and this was one option that we decided on.
Is that the one that you decided on?
Yes, what you have before you is what we decided on.
Any other questions for Julia?
Can you show us in one of these, can you just tell us which one of these floor plans?
Could you refer to?
It's not the deck, is it?
It is the screen porch off the dining room on the first floor.
Got it. So, I'm sorry, can you show which of the elevations then refers to that screen porch?
The west elevation?
Okay, the west elevation seems to have 4 components to that building. Which one is the screen porch?
I'm just going to point it out to you.
That's good. I'll go for that.
It's right there with the shingles that are lower. Everything else is impervious, rainwater can come through. It's right
So
there.
this has got, it's got a wall of shingles that are, is about waist height.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's got a railing height solid surface, and then it's got columns, then it's got a roof.
Yes.
So that really the pervious part of it is the fact that it's elevated. So there'd be really no way, because the water is not an open deck where the water could seep through the decking, for instance.
No, it has a
It has a solid floor, for instance. If water came in, it would cool in the room itself. If it came in through the screens, it would cool in the room, right?
well, it can be designed.
I mean,
Yeah, well, it depends on how.
it's got a solid floor, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have a deck floor or any cracks in it.
Not current. But it could be either way. You could have decking that has holes in it. You could put a screen to make the water could go through, or it could be tongue of mahogany floor. And we haven't got to that point of detail yet.
Okay.
Any other questions for Julia?
Good. I didn't understand that. Is the screen porch going to have a roof?
Yes, it has a roof.
The deck is the roof.
Correct.
So will that have a rubber
Yes,
roof
the
membrane
second
on it?
floor, yeah, there's a second floor deck, and that would have a rubber roof membrane that would keep the water from coming down on the, we were talking about the first floor,
And are you going to have scuppers on that?
on what, on the, there would be a gun, yeah.
The rubber membrane in the drain into something?
Yeah, absolutely, you can do it 2 ways, you could let it come down into the gravel below, or we can have gutters around it that collect it and bring it down to the ground.
But it hasn't been decided. I don't know.
Was that? Okay. Okay, thanks, Julia.
I just would like to ask Mark and Jean, are you asking the planning commission to recommend approval to the zoning board of review?
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Any discussion from anybody on this application?
No, I think that the engineer has said that this is going to be an improvement as far as the ground conditions go. Certainly the septic system is an improvement over the leach field system that's now there. And stormwater retention will improve the surface. So it sounds like we're spending a lot of money to make things better.
Lisa, I understand that you didn't quite know whether the engineering department knew about that porch, whether they figured into their thinking when they reviewed this application.
Yeah, I have a couple, and things that I would suggest that you mention as possible conditions to the zoning board. And I would also, as I said before, bring that to their attention, that the porch is not covered, because I did not see it in the application, and I was not aware of it until tonight. So as long, just so that they understand, the board understands that that is the case. But another thing I wanted to ask John is about the maintenance. Is there any maintenance plan for the stormwater structure?
No, I was discussing that with Michael.
I did ask that question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. But go ahead, you can, go ahead, repeat it for Lisa.
Yeah, basically, all the stormwater that's going to be going into the system is from the roof. So it's just clean rainwater that's not going to go overland, it's going to go by pipes or something.
So you don't feel there's any management or maintenance
No,
necessary?
there's no, it should not need any.
Okay, then I would just simply add that, just so they're aware that any additional impervious that's created in the future must conform to the 10% standard of the ordinance, or must conform to their, the ordinance itself, including driveways. And also that it should be noted for the record that that 120 square foot exemption has basically already been taken for the future, just so it's on the record that that is the case. Because in the future, nobody will know, what percentage impervious cover they're at, whether they've taken that 120 square foot exemption already. Because it's really a one-time exemption.
You're referring to the covered roof
Correct.
issue that,
Correct.
if zoning approves it, that's an exemption. And you've used
Right,
it.
so they couldn't come back in, next year for a shed. Right.
So I have a minor point of clarification, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
The well is annotated as being located 3 feet from the property line and 19 feet from the pavement, which would mean it's 16 feet from the property line to the pavement. Is that correct? That's a lot of right-of-way. I'm just looking for clarification. I don't know the site. Is that
Yeah,
road actually paved?
that would be the relation of the pavement to the property line.
So the town has 16 feet plus the pavement. What is the right of way up there? Does anybody know?
I think they're 50 feet wide.
50.
That may be 40. Mike Smith just said 40.
I would think it was 40.
Yeah, I would agree.
But that's not a truly paved road, isn't it? Isn't it still unimproved? It's
Yes, it
basically
is.
a paved road.
Okay.
I mean, like with asphalt? Times have changed, huh?
It's not very good shape, asphalt.
Well, the only reason I said it, we built our first house 200 feet south of that.
Did you?
Yes.
With the Gerards, your neighbors?
With what?
The Gerards were your neighbors?
Probably. It's 1973.
We weren't living near that, but the Gerards owned the property, yes.
Some Gerard was my neighbor.
Is this a very narrow road? I mean, if you have a 50 or a 40
No,
foot
it's
right.
just not centered in the right of way.
Oh, so most of, so the one on the other side of the street has very little,
Yeah, they would have less.
because 16 feet for a 50-foot right-of-way doesn't sound like
That's,
it's.
that's the way it was in Jamestown Shores. If you
Yeah.
were there first, you put it where you wanted it.
Ah.
Maybe even on your neighbor's land.
Yeah.
Before we start on drafting a motion, a couple of things we need to consider is that the motion would be a recommendation to zoning or